Today, I'm going into that feeling of wrong in yourself where possibly people criticized or joked or made fun of you and you internalized and you really took it on. And then feeling that within your body and being able to then shift it. So, continuing this week on the topic of feeling wrong or fearing being wrong and being criticized or fearing failure, today I want to explore this idea of feeling it and connecting it within our body and then being able to shift that feeling. So, I want to share a story and then we'll go into, from that imagery and the story, we'll go into feeling that in our body and then processing it. And so years ago, I was hanging out with a friend and we went over to her place and we were hanging out, just chatting, enjoying the afternoon. And her sister came in, and her sister was actually quite harsh, quite critical, really put my friend down. And it really surprised me for, seeing this kind of dynamic of, one other person really criticizing and putting down someone else. And I was like, wow, that is really like harsh. I would have a hard time putting up with that kind of dynamic or living in that kind of dynamic. And so the afternoon went on, and then at a certain point, her sister actually needed to jumpstart her car. And I was like, oh, well, I come from a family of, guys that know how to work on cars and they overhaul cars all the time. So I was like, oh, well, let me help. I can, I can put in, a little bit of help here, guidance, whatever. So we go out there and they did have like another car they could use to jumpstart, and they had the cables. And as we hooked up the cables, kept getting a shock when I would put the cable, to the battery. And it was like, oh, this isn't right. Like, I was like, no, I don't think this is correct. And so I was kind of like, oh, this doesn't seem right, and we stopped. We didn't continue. And the sister then had to wait until later in the day when her boyfriend came. And her boyfriend then explained that I had messed up the wires, and so I was like, oh, yeah, so at least we didn't damage the cars, because I also knew that it's like, you don't want to go any further if this doesn't seem right, And, but I think the boyfriend then criticized the sister, and the sister then came in and really criticized me, like to my friend, saying that your friend is whatever. I don't even remember what she said, but she really put me down and criticized me. And I was like, I messed up. I did. I had forgotten, or, I hadn't remembered how to do this properly. I mean, at least we didn't damage the cars, and that I didn't want to do. But I felt so embarrassed and so just like I'm wrong and wrong as a person. And I really took it on. Like, I really felt stupid, like really stupid from, her comments and her criticisms. And so what I want you to do right now, like as I'm thinking about this situation for me, I'm really feeling this heaviness and a sinking in myself. So if you have a situation or a scenario where you have felt really stupid or wrong, or you messed up and you really feel that in your body, like I want you to settle into, for a minute, just feeling that and visualizing it and being in that story. Like right now, I'm really remembering that time where the sister criticized me and I was like, oh my gosh, I messed up, I'm stupid, I'm so dumb, like that's how I really felt, was I was so dumb. But feeling that for a minute, and then being in that place and asking your body, okay, what do you need? What support can I give you? And right away, I want to have a breath. So taking a breath, but then what do you need? And I feel right now it's like a little kid that wants a hug. It's like a little kid that has skinned its knee and it's, like hurting and it just wants love and a hug. So I'm visualizing now, like, okay, I'll give you that hug. And is there anything else that I can give you? Again, I'm taking a breath. And I'm also feeling like it needs to know it's okay. Like, the world isn't going to condone you now. Like, the entire world is not going to be like, you're the worst thing in the world, like, ever. And so it's like reassuring me, that voice in me, that sunken place in me, that you have a community, you have people that love you. And this sister I never saw again. I never did. It's like, why would I want to? But it was this one person, this one situation, and I never had to deal with her again. So it's like taking that on and knowing that I didn't have to deal with her again ever. And I felt for my friend for sure. But also, I want to then play with this idea of where or when is a time that you really felt everyone saw you, accepted you, loved you. Like, is there a place or a time where you felt connected with people or you felt love? And I'm visualizing a community of friends I have that I'm like, oh, they really see me. They really connect with me and really love me. And as I'm feeling that feeling come in of this community, this, friendships, again, I'm taking a breath, but I'm feeling more of the confidence in myself, more of me, like who I am coming in, like more of their, oh, they see me for me, they see me and accepted me for me, they love me for me. And in a way, I kind of feel it's overriding this feeling of the sunken, I was wrong. It's like, no, you're this authentic person that people around you want to connect with and be with. So feeling that in yourself, like connecting with a place or a time where you do have people that see you, or stepping into a place and seeing love in yourself and bringing that in for you. And yes, I do recommend in situations where you get into things like this is going quite deep in yourself, that you do, connect with therapists or coaches or people that can help kind of be holding space for you, while you go through these processes. So in the dialog box below, I do also have a link to my coaching program where I do help you connect to yourself and get deeper, but into knowing who you are and not having to fit in the groups anymore, not having to change yourself to fit in, but to actually find yourself. So take a look at the link below and check out the program. So I share this process as a way to look back at times in your past and seeing, like, where have I done this, where I see something and I took it on as me being wrong. And in myself, I actually do it a lot. Like, I do look back at past situations and, oh, I did this one little thing and I latch onto it. I make it this huge story about how wrong I am, and twist it and kind of form it into how, horrible I must be. And it's like, I have a voice in me that's like, no, we need to keep you constrained. We need to keep you small because that keeps you safe. And it's like, well, that actually might keep me safe, but I'm not fully satisfied or living in my life. I'm not fully getting out there and being my authentic self. And instead, I find all these stories and I latch onto them, and they're not actually true. They're just stories that I'm creating about, these situations of me being wrong. So have a play with, or, take a look into these situations where you might be, like creating these stories in yourself, and then finding ways in your body, in yourself, that you can process and shift out of it. So the process today was visualizing the imagery of it and feeling that feeling into your body, and then giving it love or support or caring. And it's not coming from a judgmental place of, oh, you were so wrong, you did this, instead it was like, I see that you feel this way and that you want the love and support. And you can ask your body in that moment too, of like, what is it you need? And see what comes up, what do you want or need? And then as well, I brought in this imagery of places or times where I really felt love, or I really felt acceptance and belonging, and then felt that feeling in my body. So again, have a play with this to see how it goes. So do give yourself kindness, a little bit of love and support. And again, if you are enjoying these videos, do hit that like, share, and subscribe button below. And thank you again. I'll see you in the next video.